Hi. Thank you all for joining me for a quick review of how we as a campus at Brook Avenue are creating our school culture, making students feel welcome, loved, cared for, and really that positive vibe in the school that we want our students to feel every day when they come in. We're going to be looking at this through the lens of ratio of positive interactions and specifically what our teachers are doing in our classrooms on our campus to put this into effect and to build those relationships with our students. A quick review of the ratio of positive interactions, even though I know we've talked about this a lot in the past, is we want to have 3-to-1 positive to corrective interactions. Um, we want to focus on specific examples of what they're doing instead of general. For example, you're sitting in your chair right now. I see you working on the math problem. You got that addition problem correct, as opposed to good job. That's something so the students know exactly what it is they do to gain our positive attention. Um, and even though we've been doing this for a while, like specific in general, we can make sure we can kind of take it to the next step by putting in our awareness, like what ratio we have for each kid. So we want 3-to-1 for the class. We also want a minimum of 3-to-1 for every kid. And a lot of times our toughest students need more than 3-to-1, 4, 5, 6, 7-to-1 for sometimes. And the district has a goal of 90% of all classrooms for the campus to be at that 3-to-1 ratio. We're close based on the graphs that I'm about to show from our previous observations, and we just want to keep working and reach that goal. So a quick review of the data collections that we've had over the past year and a little bit more now. The first graph on top is from December 2019. At that point, we could see we were about a third of the classes were in the blue of reaching the 3-to-1 ratio that we're aiming for. About a third were in the middle of not quite getting there, but it was still a positive interaction. About a third were in the red where it was a negative ratio, which means more corrections than positive interactions. We saw a huge jump in January and February last year, where more of the classes moved into the green and less in the red, which is really what we're looking for. And then when we did the observation beginning of this year, we saw even more classes moving over there and increasing the ratio, and only one class that didn't have that positive interaction ratio. So lots of progress, moving in the right direction, and a lot of classes that are even moving past that 3-to-1, as we can see on the right side of the graph. I just want to go over from my observing in class, when I just walk by, some of the things I see. This is how we do it at Brook Avenue to make our students feel welcome and to build those relationships. Ms. Grafflin, I've been in her class and noticed that during procedures, she builds in a lot of chances for positive interactions with students by noticing when they respond appropriately to a call out or a call and response, as they move appropriately from one transition to the next. These are all chances that she builds in so that even though they're just transitioning, she's able to put a lot of money in the bank with positive interactions during this time. In Miss Wentz class, I've noticed her using that specific praise. I was in there while she was doing a vocabulary lesson at one point, and a student used the board that she had up in the class of words to give an answer. Very specifically saying, "Oh, way to use the board in the classroom." You know, the student knew exactly what they did. And there were a lot of other examples along there where the students were finding out exactly how they did what they needed to get that positive interactions and the attention that they all want. We have tons of teachers here who do greeting at the door. Students come up and they're ready for that. I know in Miss Wentz class one day I also saw a student just standing there, and I asked him what he was doing because I'm in the hallway in the morning. He said, "Oh no, I'm waiting for my greeting before I enter." Like, it's something that was built into his day, and that's how he knows he gets his day started off right. And that's something we have all up and down our building, and a great way to get those extra positive interactions for free right at the beginning of the day. I've seen in Miss Teachin's class, and we talk about this in some of the trainings, but she corrects a student, which, again, we have to keep doing that. But as soon as that student fixes it, she keeps an eye on them, rounds back around them, and gives them some positive interactions. 1, 2, maybe 3, like really letting them know, hey, you fixed it, and I'm giving you attention while you're taking care of business. Making sure to follow up helps keep that ratio, especially for our tough students, at 3-to-1 or higher. By even if we're correcting, coming back to them to help bump it up with more positives. Mr. Brewster, anytime I see his classroom, giving them horseshoes in the hallway, as they're always doing a fantastic job, he takes that and then builds on it. He makes sure he calls his class attentions to it. They keep track of compliments. And so then it's not just, I said they were walking well. It's Mr. Brewster adding to that, and they're in his class, so they, he is the one whose attention that they are most looking towards receiving. They get the positive when he calls attention to it, and then he always tells his class, remind me when we get back to the room so I can put it on the board, because they keep a tally of compliments. So then that also is reminding the class that they're going to come back to that same thing when they remind him later, and he's going to get another chance to give them a positive interaction as a class based on something that happened earlier in the day. There are a lot more examples. I didn't want to take this too long or do too many, but I'm always looking around, and I'm so excited at all the fantastic things that we're doing in the building to make our students feel welcome, loved, and building that climate where they want to come to school every day and feel safe. Last reminder is that we get what we pay attention to. This is the most powerful tool in our toolbox, is giving positive interactions to students and building those relationships. Without relationships, it's very difficult to get through, to have students working harder for us and making the progress that we need them to make and that we all want them to make. So thank you again for everything you're doing. Keep up the good work and have a great day.